Right, how you doing, people? It has finally stopped raining. Look, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bit of blue sky up there. In fact, I love this. There's clouds up there. For me, photography heaven. Little bit of blue sky and a little bit of fluffy white cloud. Perfect. Oh no, you're joking. I can see a flipping rainbow, which means rain. I don't know if you can see that over my right shoulder. There's rain there somewhere. Bugger off. The wind's going that way, so hopefully it's going away from me. But it stopped raining. So my plan was to get out. I've got a new neutral density filter. Now I've gone and forgotten what stop it is. I think it's 18 stop. It's 15 or 18 stop. Just shows. I've had it in my bag for weeks, but it hasn't stopped raining and I haven't had a chance to get out of it. So the plan today, and that's why I'm doing it today, is it's quite bright, because 18, 15, I'm pretty sure it's 18 stop, and I'm even 18 stop ND filter. I'll come up here on purpose knowing it would be quite bright, because I don't want to sit down and wait for an exposure for like 4 hours. 18 stops of light is quite a lot, so I'm hoping if it's quite bright, I'll shoot a sort of f13, and then perhaps I'll have a shutter speed of about 30 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that, so I can give a good test to this ND filter and see what it's like, see what the color cast is like. Because I've had a few emails, people have said, how do you use ND filters? And I suppose you take it for granted when you're using them all the time. I think what a lot of people struggle with, when they shoot in AV mode, the camera will only extend the shutter speed to 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? That's the longest it will go before you've then got to change the camera into bulb mode. Do you know, does that make sense? You know what I mean about if I'm shooting in AV mode, if I put neutral density filters on front of the camera, if the exposure go past 30 seconds, it was going to go past 30 seconds, it starts blinking at me saying, oh, I can only cope with 30 seconds, then you've got to go into bulb mode. So I thought I'd just quickly show you how to set your camera up for that, and once you go over 30 seconds, it's ideal to have a little app to tell you how long the shutter speed is going to be, if that makes sense. It will when I start banging my guns and talking about it. But like with all long exposures, I think as long as you've got something in the foreground or something in the shot to anchor the viewer's eyes to, I think it's quite a nice, it helps and makes the shot more enjoyable to look at, unless it's in ICM, is it, intentional camera movement, like with waves and shit like that. But so I've come up to Bury Head, and hopefully I'm going to be down in here out of the way of the wind, because I want my tripod to be proper solid and not get blown all over the place. Yeah, so that's the plan, people. A little bit about ND filters, not necessarily just this 18 stop, 15, 18 stop, not necessarily this 18 stop that I'm playing with today, but just in general, just have a chat on how to use them, and hopefully it'll make it easier for people that never used them before. Cool, hang tight. I need my hands just in case I get blown off the edge. Speak to you in a sec. Look at that. Cracking day for it. Now, for those of you that are afraid of heights, don't look now. Woo. My plan is, I'm going to set my camera up down in there. It's a nice little snug bit out of the wind, looking that way, and having that as the main sort of point of my shot. And then I can just test the, that'll be a static object. I hope the land don't move anyway. That'll be the static part of the shot, and then I'll have the sea smoothing itself out and all the clouds rushing by. That's the plan. Perfect look. Nice and out of the wind. Oh, set my camera up here. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be the most amazing shot, but it's just to test out the ND filter. See what the colour cast is like, which I know it's not going to have any colour cast, because I've used a lot of the other Bevan filters, the NDs, the 3, the 6 and the 10, no colour cast at all. Lush, love them, but just want to have a play and see what he's like. So I'm going to set up. Cool, I thought I forgot my tripod there for a minute. Yeah, I'll quit banging my guns. Ooh. He's in there somewhere. I want to keep my tripod as low as I can. All the clouds are buggered off now. Look at that. Nice and low. turn my image stabilisation off, make sure he's nice and straight. Comfy? Get a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, we'll have a chat. Ooh. Right people, set my camera up on a tripod. I'm going to do this in real time. I haven't even used this filter before, so I'm going to do it in real time. Let's have a quick look. How many stops was it? Is 18 stop. Beast. Right, so I'm going to do it in real time. Right, camera on tripod. Get focused in. Half press the shutter button. Focused on that bit of land. Now I'll put it on manual focus, because when I put the neutral density filter on, this is only for like big stoppers and heavy neutral density filters. If I was using like a 3 stop or a 6 stop, I wouldn't need to, because the camera will be able to see through the filter. But if I put an 18 stop filter on, it's going to be pretty much black, and the camera won't be able to focus. So I'm on ISO 100. First thing is I focus in. I'm on ISO 100. I'm shooting on f13 because I just quite like that. Image stabilization off. Tickety boo, all ready to go. Now when I half press the shutter button, it reckons 200ths of a second. It's for a perfect exposure now. And now I'm going to put on that beauty. Silver one, 18 stops. Silver, it says 18 stops and it's got 18 little noggins on it. I'll bang that on the front, make sure the front of my lens is clean. Bang that on the front. I'm not going to use any polarizers or anything like that. We'll just stick to the ND filter today. And I've put it on now and it's black. Can't see nothing at all. So you've got to work out now how many stops, how long that's going to be in time to take the picture. 200ths of a second, but I've got an app which is called Long Exposure Calculator. I'll put it up on the screen here so you can see it. Because trying to work that out can be a nightmare. So I literally go into this app. I put in 18 stop filter. I put in 200ths of a second, and it just tells me my ND filter is 18 stops, my normal shutter speed is 200ths of a second. It tells me it's going to take 21 minutes and 50 seconds. So all I do now is put my camera into bulb mode. So I go mode, bulb mode, tickety boo, make sure my ISO's on 100, make sure my settings are exactly the same, f13 like before, and then I go, oh, and all I do is go into my camera settings, and on my Canon it's the red, in the menu it's the red one, and it's right across to number 6, bulb timer. Go on to enable. I set my time for, what did I say it was? 21 minutes and 50 seconds. How cool is that? So I just go 21 minutes, 50 seconds. Okay, that's ready to rock and roll. And then I'm also going to go into my menu. I'm going to put a 2-second timer on. In fact, no, I'm going to put a 10-second timer on. So now he's all set. And off he goes. Right, so quick recap people, while that thing's doing its long exposure. If you're shooting in AV mode, you put a neutral density filter on and your camera flashes at you because the exposure is going to be longer than 30 seconds. Don't panic. I think that's where a lot of people really panic. They're like, oh no, I've got to go into bulb mode, and bulb mode is just intimidating, which it was when I first started going into bulb mode, but now I've used an app. It's just like it's a breeze. Where have I put my phone? Phone's over there. Right, so basically set your camera up on a tripod, set it up like you're going to take a normal shot, get your focusing in, shoot in AV mode, tickety boo, f13 let's say, ISO 100, all focused in, all set. Turn the focusing off. That's the main thing. You've got to turn that focusing off and turn the image stabilization off. Camera's going to be on a tripod for a little bit. You don't need the image stabilization off, but you turn the focusing off, because when you put a dark filter in front of the camera's not going to be able to focus. So your camera's all set up now. You half press your shutter button and it will tell you what your shutter speed is, because you're shooting in AV mode. You've chosen f13 or f14 or f5, whatever you want to shoot at. It's on ISO 100, and then when you half press the shutter button, it will give you a shutter speed of whatever it may be. It just shows just so happens that when I took this shot, my shutter speed was 200ths of a second. So I note that in my mind. To get a perfect shot, before I put a filter on, I'm shooting at f13, ISO 100, 200ths of a second. Remember that. Yours will be different because you may be shooting at a different aperture, may not be as bright, but just remember that's how you just set your shot up as normal, turn the image stabilization off and turn the automatic focus off. You go into bulb mode, you tell it you want to shoot at an aperture of f13 because that's what mine was set up as earlier. You want to shoot at an ISO of 100. Now originally your shutter speed was 200ths of a second. Go into my app, ND filter I'm using is 18 stops. My normal shutter speed, I put that to which was 200ths of a second, put that on, and then it tells me up the top it's 21 minutes and 50 seconds. I'll put all this on the screen. And all you do is in your bulb mode, tell the camera you want it to take an exposure for 21 minutes and 50 seconds. Now obviously this is going to change if you start stacking other filters like polarizers, graduated filters, that will change, but this will give you an idea, and eventually over time you'll just get used to filters you're shooting with. But that's so much easier than trying to work out the stops in your head. Like I said earlier, I set mine up with a 2-second or a 10-second timer. Press it, let the tripod settle, let it, off it goes. Cool, I'm going to let that do its thing. And it's so warm now, you're starting to steam up, I think. I need to give you a wipe. Next time I see you, hopefully this would have finished its exposure. All right, people. 21 minutes and 50 seconds it was, and I'm quite impressed with that. First time, never used this filter before, not shitting you. That was literally the first shot taken with this filter. And looking on the back of the camera, I don't know if it's a little bit warm or if it's because the sun's just peeked itself through the clouds and just warmed up the side of the headland there. I think that's what it is, because the sky's blue. And all I'm going to do now is zoom in a bit, look at my straight edges. I hate the screens on the back of these cameras. They're great for setting up shots. I'm just going to have a little look to make sure the camera didn't move during the exposure, because it's been quite windy up here. I'll tell you what, that looks as sharp as you like. I might get one more just to be safe. A couple of tips when doing this, these long exposures, because they're so long, make sure the batteries in your camera fully loaded, and this bad boy, make sure you shut him up, because that acts like a sail for the wind. Ooh, don't lose your camera down there. So shut that bad boy up. And if you've got the sun behind you, shut him up so the LCD screen isn't showing, because apparently the LCD screens on these don't like the sun. So there you go. I'll tell you another good thing. If ever you're stuck for remembering things when you're out with your camera, there's just little things that you forget just all the time, like little things you see in videos, or you just want little reminders for yourself. Because I'm getting older now, my brain's like a friggin' tea bag. I'm always forgetting stuff. Where your LCD screen folds in, it's a little blank bit there. Put a sticker in there with all your little bits you remember, stick them inside there. Bang them shut when you need to remember something. If it's something you keep forgetting, write them on a sticker, put them in there. Proper job. I'm going to quickly get a shot before and after, even though I've done the long exposure first, so you can see the difference between the two shots. But I'm going to get him home, give him a little edit. Yeah, what do you think? Hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, chuck them below. Cool, this is going out on a Friday. Oh, and if you, I think I mentioned in the video before, I'm an affiliate now, or I've got an affiliate link below the video. If you're interested in buying any of these filters, if you go through the link, lucky me here gets a little percentage, which is pretty cool. I get offered for affiliates for lots of things, but I only want to be associated with products that I really like. And as you know, if you probably watched my YouTube channel for a while, I love these filters, and that's why I've got the affiliate link, and I'm happy to sell for, well, not sell for Bevan, but take a little bit of a cut, because I think it's a great product and I'm well happy with them. Been using filters for a long time now, and pretty much 90% of my pictures are on a tripod using filters, and I love these filters. I think they're great, quick, easy, on, off. What more could you want? I've got loads of other filters I want to talk about, but I'm not going to fill the channel with talking about filters. It's just someone did ask me about ND filters, and that's how I use mine. Any questions, bung them down below. Have a great weekend. Cool. Cheers. Bye.